adorn that with his own joy and with his own ways of being affectionate and his own ways of letting you see him have happiness and share that joy. So it's a full life, and it's a rich life. So it's heartwarming to think of that. On the topic of being institutionalized for an extended period of time, I have a personal connection to a story about that myself. My grandmother's father, Harvey, fought in wars when he was a young man. Probably had what we would refer today as PTSD, and he was somewhat troubled by that. And had a lot of trouble coping, and I think he was having anxiety issues. He felt like there was really something wrong. When Harvey was 40 years old, he checked himself into the Veterans Hospital saying, "I've come here to die." And he was diagnosed as well as they could diagnose him at that time. They couldn't find any serious problems, but they said, of course, if you're not feeling well, you can stay. As it turns out, Harvey was correct. He was at the Veterans Administration until he died 48 years later. Which isn't to say, again, that Harvey's was a life devoid of love and a life devoid of its own rewards. It's just an indication that sometimes people take a different path, and that's okay. As many of you know, my mother, Pat Joran, passed away back in April of 2013. She was very dear to many of us. She was a matriarch. She was a provider of comfort. She was an inspiration to many people. Possibly, maybe likely, her greatest guidance came in the form of how she lived. It's often more in the things that we do rather than the things that we say that we provide lessons for others. It's certainly true that even as close as my mother and I were, she was never able to get me to change my actions based on saying things. But by living a good life, she showed me how a good life can be lived. One of the things that she did every day was to pray and to seek guidance in holy writings. I'd like to share with you what was the last prayer that she read. This is from a book that has prayers for each day. So it's kind of happenstance that this was the last prayer that she read. She read every day that she could. But I find it interesting that this particular prayer is so well suited to where she was at that time in her life, where we find ourselves today, and especially for Bill. Lord, you have taken the fear of death away from us. The end of our life here, you have made the beginning of the true life. For a little while, you will let our bodies rest in sleep, and then with the last trumpet, you will wake them from their sleep. You gave this earth of ours to keep for you, which you shaped with your own hands, and you will take it back again, and from a mortal, formless lump, transform it into a thing of immortal beauty. To free us from sin and from the curse laid upon us, you took both sin and the curse upon yourself. If out of the weakness of human nature I have fallen and sinned in word or deed or thought, forgive it me, for you have power to forgive sins on earth. When I am divested of my body, may I stand before you with my soul unspotted. Receive it, blameless and faultless, with your own hands. And now, anyone who wishes to do so, please say with me the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. We've shared some good thoughts and memories of Bill today, and there will be many more to come. We've enjoyed looking at some pictures and some film clips. We've tasted the sweetness of one of his favorite treats, and please take those M&Ms with you. We've heard one of his favorite pieces of music, Greensleeves, as we began this memorial today. And let's now enjoy another one of his favorite pieces of music as we recess and go about the remainder of our day in the warm memories of Bill. The William Tell Overture. Charge!